Well, hello, everyone. Today, welcome. I want to welcome you to the Unapologetic Entrepreneur. See, today we're going to cover a different type of topic. And yes, it's me. I'm your special guest. It's all I'm going to talk to you today. See, sometimes the biggest obstacle to success is the person you see in the mirror. Let me ask you all something. Have you ever prayed for something, worked for something, sacrificed for something, and when it finally started happening, you got scared? Not scared of failing, but scared of actually succeeding. Because success sounds exciting until it shows up. You know why? Because it shows up with pressure. Until that moment, people now are watching you. People start depending on you. The dream you talked about for years suddenly becomes real. And now the question becomes, am I really ready for this? Sometimes you got to just ask yourself, am I really ready for this? See, nobody talks about that part of entrepreneurship. Everybody talks about the money. Everybody talks about the lifestyle. Everybody talks about the freedom, but very few talk about what happens inside when you start expanding faster than your comfort zone. Because sometimes the biggest obstacles to success isn't economy. It isn't even competition. It isn't the market. It's the conversations happening inside your own head. And if you're not careful, you will sabotage the very thing you prayed for. So today, I want to talk to you about something every entrepreneur experiences, but almost nobody admits. Why entrepreneurs self-sabotage when success finally shows up. As discussed, I want to re-welcome you guys. I hope you're ready for the topic today. The topic, again, is going to be a good one every entrepreneur goes through but barely talks about. Why entrepreneurs self-sabotage when success finally shows up. See, the last two episodes, we heard some great stories. We had some great people on the podcast. Thank you, Darren Goka. Thank you, Jamie Prickett. Thank you, John Medina. Those two right there episodes really gave us a different insight on marketing, on leadership, on scaling, how, things are not always as easy as they seem, but you work through it. Now, any of those entrepreneurs that've been on the show, thank you, Coach. He's been on the show many times, and I'm sure he's been through it. Self-sabotage is real. And I'm talking to you from a perspective of something I've gone through. So for those of you that, let me see who's on. What's going on, Coach? Hey, how you doing, Donna? Make sure I say hi to you guys. For those of you that missed, remember that on this show, you guys can always chime in, ask a question, let's interact. And for those of you that are coming on for the first time, don't be afraid to hit the QR code here and follow us, like, share, and subscribe. For those of you that missed what I was talking about at the beginning, I'm going to do a run through real quick because it's really something that really affects. And it took me some time to think about it. And I'm glad that I have my confidants that we have these mastermind conversations. And I'm talking about self-sabotage. See, sometimes the biggest obstacles to success isn't anything out there. It's just the person in the mirror. Man, let me ask you. I really threw this question out there. If you missed it or you came in late, have you ever prayed for something, worked for something, sacrificed for something, and when it finally started happening, you got scared? You didn't get scared of failing. You got scared of actually succeeding. I don't know how many people know this, but success is actually a real fear. It's a real fear for people because success sounds exciting until it shows up with his friend, pressure. See, pressure now adds something different. People are now starting to watch you. People are starting to actually depend on you. People's dreams are being placed in your hand. The dream you talked about for years is suddenly becoming real. And now the question is, am I ready for this? Am I ready for this? See, nobody talks about that part of entrepreneurship. Everybody talks about the money. Everybody talks about the lifestyle. And everybody that comes to entrepreneurship always ultimately talks about the freedom. But very few are ready to talk about what happens inside when they have that conversation with themselves. What happens inside when now you are expanding way past your comfort zone? How do you pivot? Who do you turn to? A lot of people don't talk about that because sometimes the biggest obstacle to success isn't the economy. It's not even the competition. You're competing with sometimes just yourself. It isn't even the marketplace. It's all about the conversation you're having between both ears. And if you're not careful, you will sabotage exactly what you prayed for. So today we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about self-sabotage. That's the one thing I feel a lot of entrepreneurs go through, but barely ever talk about. So once again, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to give a special shout out to those of you that are on the chat. What's going on, Rick? Thank you again. Remember, if you're watching and you interact, I'm able to post what you have, especially questions. Otherwise, I won't know. And that's why you catch me looking down on my phone to see if there's anybody out there that just doesn't say something. So let's get on to the segment and talk about this one thing, self-sabotage. See, when I came into this space and I was under, and I am under the mentorship of Mr. Mark Tiroli, a shout out to you. One of the things that he told me is that I have a lot of potential and I'm tapping into my potential, but I got to be careful not to self-sabotage. So I'm guilty of it as well. So I'm talking from a perspective of where I've been. Self-sabotage is real. Some people don't understand how to handle that. And they're so used to their comfort zone of the things they've been through that they always end up putting themselves back in that predicament because it's exactly that. It's your comfort zone. And then they want to go right back up to where they went. So I want to make sure that we cover that. See, the moment everything starts changing, every entrepreneur reaches a moment where things start shifting. You know, we talk about it in our organization, we talk about Big Mo, that she's a jealous woman. She, once you catch momentum, you better hold on to her. She's jealous. If you don't hold on to her and you pay attention to something else, just like that, she's gone. So every entrepreneur reaches this point right now, right in time, when momentum starts to build. Your business begins growing. All this water on the seed and it finally starts to grow. People start believing in your vision. The vision you casted. You've been praying for people to catch your vision and they start catching your vision. Money starts to come in. It starts to show up. Your name begins to be mentioned in rooms you weren't even looked at before. And at first, it feels amazing. But success introduces something people aren't prepared for: pressure. That's right, pressure. Because success doesn't just bring rewards. See, success brings responsibility. Now people are watching you. Now people are following you. Now people are depending on your leadership. And pressure will either drive you or drown you. Shout out, man. Shout out to Mr. Kira Sullivan. I remember she said that one time, and that was big and it stuck with me. Pressure will either drive you or drown you. See, I like to say pressure either creates diamonds or bust pipes. You got to choose. Pressure will either build you or it will expose you. Now, you got to be careful. Don't fall into the pressure. Oh, I see. Oh, what's going on, Cedric? Now, again, guys, those of you that are on here on the chat, don't be afraid to chime in. Tell me how you feel about pressure. How has pressure affected you? How do you overcome that pressure? There's listeners that are going to be watching the playback that need to hear that, because as much as they won't want to admit it, they go through it. And the important part is that they go through it. But not everybody knows how to handle that pressure. So if you're out there and you're listening, chime in on the conversation. Let's see what you guys have. And let's go through it to see together to see if we can solve some of this problem that pressure brings on to people. This is why I feel that entrepreneurs start to self-sabotage. They can't handle the pressure. See, self-sabotage happens when your mind hasn't caught up to your opportunity. Let me say that one more time. Self-sabotage happens when your mind hasn't caught up to your opportunity. Your life can grow faster than your identity. That's deep right there. Your life can grow faster than your identity. Your income can grow faster than your belief. Your influence can grow faster than your confidence. What do you do then? And when that happens, your mind starts looking for ways to return to what feels familiar. Even if what feels familiar is smaller. That's the sad part. Even if it feels smaller, it doesn't matter, because that's your comfort zone. That's when entrepreneurs start doing things like procrastinating. They start not even thinking about, they stop making the proper decisions. They procrastinate on their decisions. Let's say that. They start overthinking on everything. See, there's natural overthinkers out there. But they start overthinking. They start listening to negative voices. They start letting that creep in their head, plant seeds in there. And then, unfortunately, they let people water those seeds, and that starts to fester and grow. They start creating unnecessary drama. And all that does is get Big Mo jealous and start slowing down their momentum. Oh, I see we increased some people out there. Let me see how you're feeling out there. Great evening, great evening. How do you guys feel about pressure? That was the question for those of you that are coming in. We got Jasmine with a comment. Self-sabotage happens when your mind doesn't catch up to your opportunity. She liked that quote. I believe it happens too when fear causes paralysis. Fear of the unknown. See, you can't let fear paralyze you, and it's true. Fear can paralyze you. Coach, you need Professor X to help guide your powers. Magneto and the Phoenix, powerful, and they don't understand it. Oh, okay, so, wait, unpack that, sir. Unpack that, because there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this that might not be Marvel fans. So please unpack that. I understand what you meant, but I would like other people to understand what you meant, because that's a lot deeper than it looks. You need a Professor X to help you guide your powers. See, you need the right people around you. You need to be listening to the right people. We talk about this on this show. You can watch the playbacks. We talk about surrounding yourself around the right people, having the right mentorship in place. And I believe that's where you're going. But if not, hey, feel free to correct me. You already know we can interact here. But fear does also do that to you. And we got to remember that there's things that we have to keep in place. You might have to catch up to the momentum, because if momentum leaves you, it's real hard to get her back. Think about pushing a boulder up a hill, how much harder it is when you first get started. That's what you're doing to yourself. You're dropping down in levels. So let's keep talking about this. Let me go back to some of the notes I have here. And please, ladies and gentlemen, chime in. I love to hear what you guys are thinking. Now, momentum does leave, but not because you're lazy. That's where I left off. It's not because you're lazy, but it's because the growth can feel unfamiliar and uncomfortable. See, success changes the role when you start to succeed. When you first start the journey, you're chasing your dream. But when your success starts showing up, you're now responsible for others people's dreams as well. See, a leader is not just leading themselves, is leading other people as well. So now they're responsible for that. Let's see, I think, bingo. Thank you, coach. I nailed it. So now you're responsible for other people's dreams as well. And that's added pressure. Your leadership affects your whole team. Your decisions affect not just your family, affect families. Your example affects those that are watching you. And that's when entrepreneurship stops being, for some people, fun. That's when they stop being about chasing success. It becomes more about carrying responsibility. And that's where many people begin to feel overwhelmed. That overwhelming feeling. That's where that's when the world and leadership seems to feel heavy. But here's the news. It's necessary. That is very necessary. See, that same voice that tries to shrink every entrepreneur hears this voice and they start to really minimize who they are. That voice whispers things like, are you really capable of this? What if you lose everything? What if people realize you don't know everything? What if? See, this episode is more to make you think. And we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you some suggestions on things you can do, but I'm not going to be the only one doing the talking or conversing. Let's see what people got here. Self-sabotage happens when belief and your faith isn't a part of your business equation. Good point. Good point. Jasmine is really chiming in today. Momentum leaves when your circumstances don't match your vision. Oh, nice, nice. You have to keep your vision alive. And you know what? I agree with both those comments right there. Your vision is what's going to help you. For some people, they like to call it their why. It's going to keep you from self-sabotaging. It's unfortunate that self-sabotage actually does occur in businesses. That occurs to people. And you know what? I'll dare even say, not even just in entrepreneurship, I'll dare even say in life. Some people are so used to having drama around them that when things are actually calm, when things are actually quiet, when things are actually going the wrong way. They actually miss the chaos and put themselves right back in that situation on purpose because they don't know what tranquility and peace look like. It almost threatens them. It scares them, that fear of the unknown. And I think that affects people's businesses as well. Let's see, do we have anything else? All right. So let me get back to my little chat here. Here's the truth about every successful entrepreneur that I admire and I look at. None of them have everything figured out. See, there's a lot of millionaires that I have spoken to. I'm blessed to say that a lot of millionaires I've been around, they don't have all the answers. They don't know it all. What I notice they do is they handle pressure very well. All the seven-figure earners I know, including the one that I talk to almost every day, doesn't let pressure in. Uses it, harnesses it as a power. That is a very, very good skill. How do they do that? Personally develop, read books. They themselves have mentorship. See, they're willing to listen more than they're willing to speak. How many entrepreneurs, how many of you out there are really coachable? How many of you are humble enough to understand that you don't know the answer to every question, especially as you're going? Or are you one of those people that when people speak to you, regardless of, I'll say depending who they are, but when people speak to you about your business that you actually admire, your first phrase back is, I know. I hope you guys know that when someone talks to you and you start saying, I know, all you're doing is blocking your blessings. You're blocking the messages that they're trying to give you. You're no longer listening because your mind is telling you whatever is coming out of that person's mouth, you already know, so disregard. So for those of you that have that habit, I would tell you that'd be the first thing I'll get rid of before you end up sabotaging your success. See, most of us are climbing and pushing to a dream. And even the successful want more success because they want to create more impact. It's not always about the money, but they want to impact other lives. They want to create more leaders, give people an opportunity to get to where they have. But if you're one of those I know people, you're always going to miss it. Let's see. Oh, we got something here. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your agreement there. We got some people in the chat. They're wired for it. Yes, they are. But here's the thing. Here's the trick, Jasmine. We can rewire ourselves as well if we allow the mentorship and the words that are coming out of the mouth penetrate our hearts, souls, and mind. See, confidence is not something you feel. Confidence is something that you build through action. That's where confidence comes in. That's how you get better. That's how you combat self-sabotage. I'm going to give you guys some advice. And then I'm going to definitely turn to see if you guys have anything to say. Maybe you guys want to add a piggyback, as we say, off of this. Here's some advice. If you're listening right now and you're feeling this tension, like success is starting to show up, but you're unsure about yourself, you don't know what to do with it, you see it knocking at the door, and you're not sure if you even want to open it because what's on the other side, it might be too much, too overwhelming. Let me give you some real advice. Remember that you asked for this. See, the opportunity is in front of you today. And the same opportunities you prayed for months ago, maybe even a year ago, can be taken. They can disappear. So don't shrink when they arrive. Step into it. Go toward it. See, perfection only slows down the process. You don't need to have every answer. I like to tell people I live by Three simple rules. And I wish I would have had them captioned out. One, know what you know. Two, know someone that knows. Let me bring it back. Come rewind. Know what you know. Know what you don't know. Number three is know someone that knows what you don't know. And that's all you need to know. If you keep it that simple, woo, you don't have to be perfect. Because, like I said before, perfection slows down the process. You just need to keep moving forward. I know, JB, you might like that one. I know, GB, you might like that one. You just have to keep moving forward. Protect your environment at all costs. Growth requires the right environment. Seeds only grow in the right soil. So you have to protect your environment. If you're surrounding yourself by people who think small, eventually you're going to start thinking small. You're going to block your own blessing and you're going to end up sabotaging. Let's see what we got here. Pressure shouldn't pause you. It pushed toward your goals. I see what you did there. Goals by changing your daily habits. That will get you closer to getting the date with Big Mo. Oh, she wants to date Big Mo. Hey, how you doing, Francine? Welcome to the conversation. We're talking about self-sabotage. See, but here's the thing. When you surround yourself around people who challenge you, you will rise to the level of the room. You shouldn't want to be the smartest person in the room. If you are the smartest person in the room, get out, because there is no space for growth. Eventually, you will sabotage to be lower. Take action when you feel that there's fear. The minute you feel afraid of something, take action. Just take action. Fear does not disappear. Fear does not disappear unless there's action. Every step that you get closer and go towards fear, your belief is growing and fear is minimizing. So walk toward fear. Here's another tip. Focus. Focus on who you are becoming. Always keep your mind on the future self and focus on that person. That person's going to help pull you to that level. I hope you can see that image of yourself looking at your future self, steps ahead of you, pulling you through that fear, through anything that you feel you're not ready for. See, the real reward of entrepreneurship isn't just the money. It's the person you're going to become throughout the process. It's your transformation. You're going to be more disciplined, more focused, more resilient, more capable. That's the true gift to me of entrepreneurship. Money is a byproduct of those things. I'm really praying that these words touch you, because I've gone through self-sabotage several times. And it took me some time to start thinking, when am I going to stop the madness? What is it that got me in this position? And you know what the answer was? And it came through mentorship as well. I don't take credit for these words. I just take credit for listening. It came in the words of, we keep doing the same things because comfort feels good. It's simple. It feels too good. But you know what I believe? Growth feels better. So you have to go through it. I love being disciplined. I like when my mind is able to get focused. I love the resilience that comes with it. I love being capable. I'm just grateful. See, entrepreneurship opened a whole new world for me. And I think that's why people seek entrepreneurship, because they want true freedom. They want to get out of the matrix. I ask you, don't you? So be careful not to self-sabotage. I have something in closing for you guys, but before I go there, let me see what people want to add to the conversation. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. All right. Okay. All right. So I want to leave you with something that I feel is important. I always like to do little things like this, little acronyms that make you think. And today, today has been a day. I've had great moments and very few emotional ones, but I feel there was a lot of breakthroughs, and that makes me smile. I want to leave you with this. First, the word is rise. R, reject fear. Don't let doubt talk you out of your destiny. Don't let doubt steal from you. You need to reject fear at all costs. I, increase your identity, grow into the person the opportunity requires. If the shoes don't fit, grow into them. Don't get uncomfortable in that situation when success comes, because it's going to come. Inevitably, you are going to have a breakthrough and you're going to succeed. It might not be on your timing, but it's going to be on God's timing. But it's going to happen. So grow into that. It's okay. Give yourself permission to grow. When that time comes, S, strengthen your discipline. Discipline is what carries success forward. Get more discipline on everything, on your time, your effort, your exercise regimen, what you eat, how you speak, getting in on time early if you can, leave late. Get more discipline about whatever your craft is. Get more discipline with yourself. Because as you grow, your business will grow, your income will grow, and so will everything else around you. And E, elevate others. Real entrepreneurs built people, not just businesses. That's the one thing I love about our business. Our business builds people. And this world can use a lot more better people in this world. That's what we need. Become a better version of yourself. So, what I'm basically saying is that you need to rise above. Rise above. Don't be afraid to rise. Let me leave you with this. The life you say you want will demand, listen to this, will demand a version of you that you haven't seen before. A version of you that has so much more discipline, more courage. You are more focused. It will demand a more committed version of you. Success will stretch you, it will challenge you, and it will expose all your weaknesses. However, it will also reveal your strength. And the truth is, most people never reach their potential, not because they didn't stand up to the opportunity. It's not because of that. It's because they allow fear to convince them that they weren't ready. Therefore, they sabotage on their opportunity. But if you listen to this right now, if you listen, if you pay attention, not hear me, listen. If something inside of you refuses to settle, if something inside of you tells you that you were meant for more, then maybe the pressure you're feeling right now is not meant to break you. If you want to keep going after feeling that pressure, it was here to create a diamond. It was here to drive you, not drown you. So accept that pressure, accept the challenge. Don't let it shrink you. Don't slow down. Don't sabotage your blessing. You've been praying for this moment. You've been asking for it. So rise up and meet it. Because entrepreneurship was never meant for people who want to remain comfortable. It was meant for people who are willing to become more, who are willing to become a better version of themselves. That's who entrepreneurship was meant for. Let's see who's out here saying something. Oh, we got a few things going on over here. I don't know what this sign is, but okay. Yes, entrepreneurship is so empowering. Great discussion. Thank you. Great conversation. Thanks for the thanks, Professor. I needed this talk. I'm glad it served. I'm glad. Hey, oh, look at this. We're being seen all the way over in Cali. Rise. Thank you for the notes. Look at this. People are taking notes. Man, this is heartwarming. Elevate others. Love that piece. Guys, thank you for paying attention. You could have been anywhere, man. You could have been anywhere. And I'm so grateful you're here. I'm so grateful that you're spending this time with me because this talk is not just for you. Sometimes I write and I have conversations with myself because I too have self-sabotage. As a matter of fact, probably happens every time you go up in levels. As you go up in a level, you want to go lower to where you were comfortable and things were just cool and you were coasting. But nah, I'm going to rise up to it because that's what I was made for. I was made for this. I was built for this. See, I know the title is Unapologetic Entrepreneur. And that's what I want you guys to take away from this. Be unapologetic. Where we stop apologizing for ambition, greater things come. You don't need to apologize for your ambition. Don't apologize because you want growth. Don't apologize because you want more. Don't apologize because you want bigger things. Don't apologize because you want to leave an impact. Embrace it. And those that can't rise with you, you can try helping them, but they got to want it just as bad as you want. So with that, I want to say, start rising into the leaders that each and every one of you were meant to be. I want to thank you. It's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to spend this time with you guys today. This is the Unapologetic Entrepreneur, and I will see you next time. I have a special time. Let me put you guys on since you guys are watching now live. Be on the lookout for Sunday. I will drop a flyer, but be on the lookout for Sunday. I have a special millionaire like I've had before. Let me tell you, last week was $1 million table. I'm going to bring you another $1 million table so you guys can feast and learn how to grow to be your versions of the unapologetic entrepreneur. Don't apologize for wanting more. And with that, I want to say